Are you still as confused as you were? Do you have any clarity, any new thoughts? What do you think?
Yes and no to both. I think I'm still confused as to the direction, not necessarily as the direction that we're heading in, but why we did what we did on Monday. Like to me, Monday made no sense still. Even when he made the appearance on NXT and said the things that he said, I honestly think, and I don't know how to word this and how to say this properly. I honestly think Rock heard the backlash from Monday night and went out Tuesday and came up with a whole new idea, or just threw this out there that where he's taking us on a ride that we may never go on, because what is the ride at this point? I mean, he's great at that. He's always been good at selling his crap, and that's what he's really good at doing. And so, you know, if it takes us down a ride, if we actually get something this year or next year or whenever, then that's awesome. That's great. I still just don't think Monday made any sense, or I don't think Monday was beneficial at all to either side. Because I still, even after everything that's happened, I still don't see a Rock versus Cody match happening now. And I don't know if that was ever the plan or if we just made that up or whatever the case is, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, at least.
I mean, a couple of things. Like, I'm looking at it and it just, man, I don't know. I can see it both ways, because I'm like you. Rock could be feeding us a bunch of crap. And I said it last week. Like, he could sell me on anything. So if tomorrow rolls around and Rock drops one of his famous Instagram promos and he flips the whole script around and we're back on the same track that we were last year, I would be okay with that. Like, I can understand that, because again, like you just said, like I said, Rock can sell me on it. That's what Rock does. But the execution last Monday was just a little questionable. It almost like it went too far. Like, the thing we got to remember though, Andy, Sam Roberts says this. It's rule number 3 on his podcast. If you listen to Sam Roberts, everything counts. And when we say everything counts, there was a reason that he did the Instagram live. It wasn't just, oh, I'm coming back through the curtain. Oh, hey, turn on Instagram. Let me get on Instagram. No, it was rolling when he got back there, Andy. It was pre-planned for him to do those things. I just think that it's almost too good as far as Rock's being too nice. Like he said in his promo on NXT, oh, you're being too nice to Cody now. Well, Andy, maybe this is part of the ride. It's a weird part of the ride. You know, you're on a roller coaster and you go through a tunnel and you go in this weird, it's like, wait, what are we doing here? It's like riding, It's a Small World, or, you know, what have you. This is the weird part of It's a Small World. I don't know. I mean, who knows, Andy? Who knows? I still think there's a good shot. Maybe it's not at WrestleMania. Maybe it's at SummerSlam that we get Rock Cody. I think Rock Roman is still a possibility. All these things I think are still on the table. The door has been left open. It's just a little strange.
Yeah, I don't understand though why we would do this 2 years in a row, where we would take something that was easy to book, easy to just tell this story, and try to make it convoluted for no reason whatsoever. You got lucky the first time that you were able to save it. Like, you did a great job of recovering. You did a great job of flipping the script. Right. Perfect. That's awesome. You're not necessarily going to get it twice.
Right.
So that's my only concern is when it comes to guys like The Rock, and I don't know him backstage. I've never seen him. I've only seen what I've been shown, and I've been shown things to give me an idea of who they want me to think he is. And I get that. I fully get that. But I get the feeling of seeing how he's been booked every time he's come back through the curtain, whether it's this year, whether it's last year, whether it was 2012, 2013 with the Punk and Cena and everything else. I get the sense that whatever he wants, he gets. And whatever he wants to do is what they'll do. And then when there's pushback, then he looks like a genius for coming up with something different. And I don't necessarily buy that all the way.
Sure.
I think he's a brilliant guy. He's shown that throughout his entire career. I think obviously a massive part of what happened last year was because of The Rock and his thinking. And I think you got to put Paul Heyman in there and Cody and Roman. and Triple H. You have to put those guys in there because they're the only ones that could probably flip the script and make it work.
For sure.
But I don't know why you would take 14 steps back to just make it, just to throw our expectations away. Like, to me, that is not a strong strategy or a strong booking choice.
All right. January the 27th. That's the date that Roman Reigns gave Paul Heyman last week for, I guess, a tribal chief celebration ceremony, something or other. I don't know. January 28th is when we're getting an update on 2K25, which they went into the room. So it probably coincides with that. It's also the last Raw before the Royal Rumble. So it could tell us a whole lot about a lot. Here's another kicker about that. January 27th, Monday Night Raw is in Atlanta, Georgia. Cody Rhodes' hometown, in the same building that Bad Blood happened, where The Rock appeared. Now, Sam Roberts brought this up on his podcast. I'm stealing it from him, but it makes a great point. I don't know that we mentioned this last week either. So, The Rock, when he showed up at Bad Blood, and he did the 1, 2, 3, like that, right? So we did that at Bad Blood. Paul Heyman, we noticed a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, did the same thing, 1, 2, and then did 3 like this. Sam Roberts pointed out that during The Rock's promo with Cody Rhodes the night after WrestleMania, he did the exact same 1, 2, 3. So I'm just saying, I don't know. There has to be something with that, whether it's triple threat, whether it's Rock reminding Cody that I pinned you 1, 2, 3 before you pinned Roman, or what have you. I don't know. All I'm saying, Andy, is January 27th could be a little bit more clear.
Yeah, and honestly, I could see it going one of two ways, where we get more information, we get more things happening, or we learn absolutely nothing at all. And it's just a big promotion for 2K, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards at this point. But yeah, I mean, I think there are directions they can go, and there are ways that they can back out of it, and there are ways that they can push this story forward more. But I think this Monday Night Raw, like last week's Monday Night Raw, is going to stick in our minds just like the SmackDown after Cody won the Rumble sticks in our minds. Of, we saw where you got and it ruled. It was awesome. But we still remember that night. Like, we still remember how none of that made sense. And even the most loyal of the loyal WWE fans realized this is not good. This is bad, bad, bad.
Yep.
And so I think we could be looking at last week as somewhat of a situation where maybe the end result is something good. Maybe it's something that we weren't expecting, which I'm all fine for it. I love that. But I think we're all going to look back to last week and go, that still does not make sense. That could be this story's version of Jimmy turning on Jay after he super kicked Roman first. Like, to me, that still makes no sense, and we've never gone back to it. And so I could see that happening. I could see that happening with this as well.
Yeah, I think it's a thing, though, Andy. It's the wrestling business. You never know what's exactly going to hit with the audience and what's not. So you try things and you fall on your face. And WWE, under the Triple H regime, has shown they're not afraid to try things. They're not afraid to fall on their face because they're going to find a way to get back up and make it work. And they always do. Yeah. So maybe last week was just an example of that. Who knows? If you guys are watching this live, we appreciate you doing that. Make sure you drop your comments, drop your questions in the chat, vote in the poll, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I know I just gave you a lot of things, but they're all quick and easy things. Just a thumbs up, just a subscribe helps us so much.